Hi everyone, you're watching Tamit Saleh's Tennis Forum, and in this video we are going to be looking at the two World Tour Finals groups, Group AA and Group BB. Andre Agassi and Bjorn Borg. I don't know if they did that on purpose, but that was quite cool when I had that moment. A quick fact to begin this video: this will be the 50th edition of the World Tour Finals. It was first established in 1970, and since 2015 they have started naming the groups after past champions. So Andre Agassi won it in 1990 and Bjorn Borg won it in 79 and 80. So I think last year it was Group Querten and Group Hewitt. So yeah, each year they name the groups after different champions to celebrate the rich heritage. If you haven't already, then please do subscribe, as I do release weekly videos. This week I've actually released quite a lot. My last two videos, one was about the year-end situation, the year-end number one situation with Nadal and Djokovic, what they need, and I've explained it for you guys. And the other one was a quick rankings update, as Rafa Nadal has indeed become world number one again. I'll be putting a link to both of those videos up here and also in the description below. But yeah, for today we are going to be looking at the two groups, looking at some of the head-to-heads and who the potential four semi-finalists will be. I'm going to be looking at the poll where over 500 of you guys responded, and it's wonderful for me to see so many of you guys taking part. Over 500 responses, which is amazing. And then I'll be answering a question asked by one of you to wrap this up. We've got a lot to do, so without further ado, let's roll the intro. So the World Tour Finals is indeed a worldwide tournament. Since 1970 it has moved around the world, and in fact all four cities that host the Grand Slams have hosted the World Tour Finals too: Melbourne, Paris, New York City and finally London. This is the penultimate year that it will be here in London, as from 2021 it will move to Turin, Italy. We have three players making their debuts this season in Daniil Medvedev, Stefanos Tsitsipas and Matteo Berrettini. And when you add in the defending champion from last year, Sasha Zverev, it means there are four players who are 23 or younger. So it's a very young field. This is in fact the first time this has happened since 2009, exactly 10 years ago, where we had a 23-year-old Nadal, a 22-year-old Novak Djokovic and Andy Murray, and a 21-year-old Juan Martín del Potro. If any of the next Gen 4 can reach the standard or quality of the 2009 quartet, then we're in for a hell of a ride. Let's go into the groups now. I have a spreadsheet ready for you guys. You know how much I love my spreadsheets. So hopefully that will appear on your screen right now. So as you can see, in Group A, we have Rafa Nadal, Daniil Medvedev, Stefanos Tsitsipas and Sasha Zverev. Rafa actually has an amazing head-to-head against all of these guys. 2-0 against Daniil, 4-1 against Stefanos and 5-love against Sasha, giving him an aggregate of a 11-1 head-to-head. However, as you can see from the bottom chart, which is indoor hard courts only, Rafa has never played any of these three in indoor hard courts. So this is going to be a new experience for all of them. Medvedev, he has an amazing head-to-head against Tsitsipas, 5-0. However, he's got a negative head-to-head against both Rafa and Zverev. One thing to note about the Sasha Zverev one though is he was actually 4-love down until this summer, where his rise came and he did get that win against Sasha. One thing that may also help him is that the last time that he played either Tsitsipas or Zverev was both of them in Shanghai, where he beat Stefanos Tsitsipas in the semi-final and Sasha Zverev in the final. Tsitsipas has quite a big negative head-to-head against Rafa and Daniil, 4-1 down to Rafa and 5-love to Daniil Medvedev. However, he does have a 3-1 head-to-head against Sasha. He did in fact lose their first ever meeting and since then has won the last three. As you can see from the top chart, if you exclude Rafa Nadal and just have the next gen trio, they've all got a winning head-to-head against one and a losing head-to-head against the other, which means it'll be quite interesting to see how they fare against each other in the group stage. If I had to make a prediction now, look, I know the Rafa Nadal injury situation is still looming over this group. We have Roberto Bautista Agut and Monfils as alternatives, waiting to see what will happen. I didn't want to release this video too early because I wanted to get more confirmation from Rafa. I know, well, I'm recording this on a Thursday. It will probably get out to you you guys on a Friday. But as of now, Rafa Nadal is still in the tournament. He was meant to practice his serve today, which is the big one. As you know, that's how he injured himself. So we're still waiting on news for that, but hopefully he will be okay. You'd think Rafa, even if he's at maybe 90-95%, he will still quite comfortably come out of this group, as we know he is so good against the next gen players. And my pick, I mean, this is quite an obvious one. It will probably be the new Medvedev after the summer he has had. But just looking at their head-to-heads, and in a top 8 competition, it really is who turns up on the day. I wouldn't be surprised if either Tsitsipas or Zverev started beating Medvedev and getting that qualification for the semi-final. Sasha Zverev, let's not forget, is the defending champion as well. But yeah, if I had to pick, I would say Nadal and Medvedev from that side of the draw. Moving on to Group B on Borg, as you can see, 2 of the big 3 are there. Djokovic and Roger Federer, 2 of the greatest indoor hardcourters ever, and they're joined by Dominic Thiem and Matteo Berrettini. Djokovic has a great head-to-head against Roger, as you can see, 26-22, and also a 6-4 in the indoor hard courts. Funnily enough, the last time Roger Federer beat Novak Djokovic was in this very competition, all the way back in 2015 in the round-robin stage. He won that round-robin in straight sets, but Novak Djokovic exacted his revenge not long after winning the final between them in straight sets. Since then, they've played 4 more times, and Djokovic has won all 4 times, including that amazing final we saw at Wimbledon earlier on this year. One thing to note from here is that a lot of people I've seen are ruling out Dominic Thiem and Matteo Berrettini, I feel like, too soon. As you can see, Dominic Thiem does indeed have a 4-2 head-to-head lead over Roger Federer, and he has beaten him on grass, clay and hard courts. Also in 2019 they have played twice, and Dominic Thiem has beaten Roger Federer both times. In the indoor hard courts, however, Federer does have a 1-0 head-to-head against Thiem. And I know a lot of people are ruling out Berrettini. I agree with you guys that it will be tough for him, and he is kind of like the new face in this kind of territory. However, you never know. He may have a great run. He is a top 8 player and he deserves to be there. So yeah, we will see how he gets along. I think Djokovic and Federer, I mean, you can't really look past those 2 to qualify. They are great on the indoors. So if I had to pick, I know this isn't like a bold prediction, but I think Djokovic and Roger will also qualify from their groups respectively. That's all the group stage, the head-to-heads and all that for you guys. I don't want to look too further on into the semi-finals and final. That stuff will come. I promise you I will cover that. But I just wanted to focus on the group stage. Now let's look at the poll results. And like I've said before, over 500 responses. That is amazing. And it really makes me happy to see you guys engaging with the channel so much. I asked you guys which group is stronger, Andre Agassi or Group B on Borg. And it seems like a lot of you guys, over half, think that Group A or Group Andre Agassi is stronger. That got 53% of the votes. The Group B on Borg with Djokovic and Federer surprisingly only got 26%, and both fairly even is at 21%. Now, I can see why a lot of you guys are voting for the Group AA. Of course, we've got 2 other players who probably had the best summers, the US Open finalists Nadal and Medvedev in the same group, as well as the defending champion Sasha Zverev and Stefanos Tsitsipas, another exciting prospect. However, I'm going to have to disagree with you guys on this one. I think they are both fairly even. When you consider the fact that, you know, a group has Novak Djokovic and Roger Federer, 2 all-time greats and 2 great indoor hardcourters. Dominic Thiem isn't bad himself. I know a lot of people seem to think of him as a clay specialist. However, he has won Vienna and Beijing on the hard courts recently. And then Berrettini, I feel like whichever group had Berrettini in it, you guys would automatically assume that's the easier group, as I think everyone expects Berrettini to just lose all 3 matches. So I can kind of understand why you voted in the way you did. But yeah, that's your guys' opinion. That's my opinion. And once again, please do respond to these polls. It makes it very interesting to see how you are all engaging and also what your opinions are. I'm going to end this video by answering one of your questions. This question was asked by Goldwolf, who's asked, you know, Roger Federer, he wants to keep his year-end #1 and his weeks at #1 record. If Roger and Rafa were to face in the semi-finals, do I think Roger would tank lose on purpose to Rafa to save his record. Personally, I don't think he will. As you know, Roger Federer, like none of these guys will want to lose. They're all competitive, and on the indoor hard courts, I think Roger will fancy himself. Even if Novak reaches the final and it's a Rafa Roger semi-final, why did I say semi? Even if Novak reaches the final and it's a Roger Rafa semi-final, then it's still in Roger's hand to protect his own records. He could beat Rafa and then go on to beat Novak in the final. And yeah, I feel like that would be the only plausible way. Another opportunity for a tank was that if Rafa won all three, Novak could lose his last round robin match on purpose. That is now, well, it can't really happen as Novak's group is playing first. So yeah, they're starting the way, so that tank is gone as well. You know, these conspiracies and can they lose on purpose is quite interesting, and I did ask the question as well last time, but really and truly I don't think any of these guys will lose on purpose. I hope you enjoyed this video. This was like a group stage summary, some stats for you guys to get warmed up to. I will be getting more and more content during this tournament. It is very local to me, so yeah, keep tuned for that. As always, please do share your thoughts and leave a comment below. I do respond to most, if not all, of your comments. I do honestly enjoy listening to you guys, and I also learn a lot from you guys as well. If you haven't already, subscribe for future videos, and thank you for watching this one.